Welcome to Meeple, uniting players around the world. A 30-minute exploration of PJ and Gareth's board game experiences from across both sides of the Atlantic. Each episode, they share their thoughts and opinions on the world of board games, including their favourite themes, games, hot topics, and much, much more.
Hey, and welcome to episode 37, Gaming on the Go.
Let's go.
I'm PJ.
I'm Gareth.
And we're going to talk about games that you take with you wherever you go. Or not.
I'm not. Well, I think I'm looking forward to this one because I travel quite a bit of work, and I have both international and we've got kids. I was like, man, when I travel on the go, it's when I go on holiday, when I go to the restaurant, when I'm going to the pub, when I'm going to work, when I'm going to stay in hotels. So there's quite a list because I'm quite I'm quite resourceful with my game packing skills.
You are, and you really dove into this topic because, as you know, I was inspired because my wife and I had just traveled up to Chicago for a work conference, so we were gone for a whole week. So the context of what I was thinking of was like this 4 days or longer trip. And you were like, well, I take them to the restaurant with a family. I travel alone. I'm like, oh man, Gareth's really.
And there's games you throw like in your bag, put in my pocket. I give to Carrie to put in a handbag. And I was like, where are we going to go? Are we going to a pub?
Right.
You got to think about sticky tables.
You do.
Going to a restaurant, you got to think food space, game space. Going on the way with work on your own, you got to think. You know, I've played Terraforming Mars on the bed before.
Really?
Yeah, I took Terraforming Mars with me in my work suitcase and played it on the double-sized bed on my own.
Wow,
what a life I live!
That's dedication. I would not.
And I hadn't even put that on my list. I've gone for smaller games really. But where do you want to start? Do you want to start with where you what did you take on your trip and why did you take it?
Yeah, so we were we were traveling. It was for a week, 4 days, I guess. And it was kind of it was like a last minute. We had packed, we were getting ready to leave, and I was like, I'm going to go downstairs and grab a few things because we're going to have time at night. Because the beauty is that I work with my wife, so we're traveling together. And while it's work, I realize, and we're sharing the hotel, obviously. So I grabbed
a win-win.
I know, it's great. It was fantastic. So I brought Splendor Duel.
Nice.
And I brought it because it was smaller than its big brother, Splendor.
Yep.
And then I grabbed Smitten, which is probably the smallest game ever. I feel like I should describe Smitten for those of you who.
Yeah, I've not played it. I've not heard of it.
Smitten is 18 cards. Yes, it is 18 cards. It is a cooperative 2-player game.
Remembered it. Yeah.
That Jamie Stegmaier put together. And it was a promo. I don't even know. I don't think he's still printing it, but it's an interesting little game. And I grabbed it right away because it's so easy to play on the bed, whatever. You got to think about, so when you're in a hotel, if you go down to the hotel lobby for breakfast in the morning, the size of the table, even Splendor Duel takes up a bit of a table presence, just enough of one. So that was not a good decision, but Smitten was perfect. Card games seem to be good options.
Are definitely good options. Did you travel by car? How did you travel?
We traveled by train because.
Did you have a table on the train?
We do. So it's like being on an airplane, but coach in the train is far more comfortable than coach in an airplane.
Yeah.
Because you have a bigger seat and you've got your tray down, but the trays side by side are really close. So it's kind of like one long tray. There's a small gap.
That
very,
feels
very
like
small.
Really good roll and write territory.
Did
you take games for the train or did you not play?
No, all I took was Splendor Duel and Smitten.
Okay.
I did not take any roll and writes. I should have.
So people listening, these are all the top tips of things to make sure when you go on holiday next.
You got to think about the table space, number of people, right? Because I know you travel by yourself a lot for work. roll and writes are really good. Not all of them, obviously, but roll and writes are really good. So Roland, our friend, board dad, keeper of Redford, or
Redford's
I
the
don't know.
keeper of Roland,
Yeah,
I think.
Redford is the keeper of Chief. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a conversation. With Roland. Man, it was probably about a year ago. He travels sometimes for work too.
Mm-hmm.
He will bring one deck of cards from Rolling Realms, and then he will play with his kids virtually at night. So he'll be
Brilliant. I
back at
love
his
it.
hotel
Amazing.
because that doesn't take up much table space at all, and he doesn't even need to bring the dice because they could roll the dice for him. So that's something you should think about if you
I love
haven't
that idea.
already.
No, that is a really good idea. Playing remotely.
Yes. I love me
Top
some
tip.
remote gaming.
Top tip.
So a good way to connect with the family. But that's not mine. That's Roland's. I didn't do that, but still.
So you took Splendor, Jewel, and Smitten. When did you get time to play? Was there evening time? Because often with work stuff, you get the social bit as well.
You do. It's in the evenings. You think about breakfast, but it's like, you're trying to eat, then you got to get ready and go to the conference. So, in the evenings is the prime gaming time. You never know. Sometimes, and I should have thought about this, and rolling rights would be great for that, is when so you have a session at a conference and it's over. You've got this hour and a half before the next session. You could find a little table and play, and I was thinking, man, I really wish we would have taken Love Letter. Love Letter's a really good.
So on my list. Perfect.
Yeah, I figured it would. It doesn't take up much table space. You got to think about those. I think now you're going to talk about some of those wallet games, right?
Yeah. But see, Love Letter is often on a train or coach because you can sit side by side. Mm-hmm. I think we've even played 4-player back to back because you're just holding up the numbers. You don't need to worry too much.
No, exactly. Yeah. So what about you? What do you take with you?
So I think it's like I said, it depends.
You could start wherever you want because
depends where I'm going. So there's a section of the games room where I've got tin games. So they're games that come in those small metal mint tin cases. There's those wallet games you mentioned, which is like a credit card size wallet.
Yep.
And we have a ton of those games. I've become a little bit addicted to buying those. And then there's the cloth bag games like Love Letter. There are others, but those tin or wallet games are the ones that end up in a purse or a pocket or a jacket pocket the most. And if I'm going away with work and it's only for a night, they will often end up in my bag. A game that has been around the world with us, well, I think everywhere we've been on holiday, is a game called Mintworks. There's a series of games, I think we're on Kickstarter, called Mint. It's that Mint series. Mintworks is the one to get. The rest are just okay. Worker placement kind of game. It's 20 cards. I won't go into mechanics, but it's a really nice game that we've played in a bar, in a restaurant, at lunchtime on the beach. It's easy and very nice worker placement and very well balanced. The other fun one is a game called Sunny Day Sardines, which is just a set collection game.
Say that 3 times real fast.
Sunny Day Sardines, Sunny Day Sardines, and Sunny Day Sardines. I
love it.
Well worth checking out. It's on release. It was actually from a guy who was on Instagram for a long time that I knew. That is not so much on Instagram now, but is now designing games that take some mechanics of more complex games and put them into a very small box. So they're two that often end up in a bag because they're really easy, small form games with a little bit of thought behind them. Then the wallet games by...
So I want to hear about these. I've never played a wallet game.
So Button Shy Games...
I'm curious about the table presence once you open it.
Yeah. So Button Shy Games, I'm sure that's what it's called, do regular Kickstarters, and I think they might have 20 or so games, and I've probably got about 10. They might have more than that, actually. The most famous one is Sprawlopolis. Sprawlopolis. They've done an Agropolis. and I think there's a nature one recently. That is set of cards, I think about 15, 16. On the back of the card is the scoring objective, and the front of the card is basically a 2x2 grid of different types of like commercial buildings, industrial buildings. It's like basically a card laying game looking to score points, and you collectively are working together.
Ooh,
So
like
every
that.
card is unique. That has been kids, like when the kids were younger, we went to watch them in a play center, where they've got soft play. We'd sit and play that because, again, it's not too bad footprint wise. They all connect together. So the Acropolis one and Sprawlopolis have got promo packs that bring the two games together. There's a game called Tides, which is relatively new in our collection. We have taken that to the pub numerous times. And you're collecting. One side of the card is the items you need to collect. On the other side is kind of low tide and the things that you found. So you are trying to pick up items into your hand. And then on the next time the tide goes out, you score by paintings and items.
Okay.
It's really, really nice. Highly recommend it. Again, so much game. Tides. And the other one we're having fun with, a game called Revolver Noir, which is basically Manhunt. So you've both got the same deck of cards. There's a map of the house, and the cards let you move between rooms, like left, right, up, down, and then you have to basically shoot each other or capture each other twice. So it's literally a game of cat and mouse, and that works really well. Again, very small footprint in a pub. And then they've got a load of solo games only. So if you're on your own, there's a game called Spaceshipped, which is kind of space trading, flying, upgrading ships. A game called Fishing Lessons, which I love, and it's just small table presence.
You've talked about that before.
Yeah, it's really good.
Episode, yeah.
And then there's Unsurmountable, which is climbing mountains. Not in this series, a game called Palm Island, which actually the cards on one of the Kickstarters was actually water resistant. And the deck is in your hand, and you fold the cards you don't fold the cards. You turn the cards so they are facing outside of the deck as you use them. So basically, the whole game is manipulated by one deck in your hand. That's worth checking out. Ooh. So that's a rundown of wallet games and tin games.
Give me that last one again. That was.
I think it's Unsurmountable. Oh, the last one, Palm Island.
Palm Island.
Palm Island. So it's obviously a palm tree island, but the game is played in the palm of your hand, and I've played that on a plane.
Because that sounds
just
really
in your
cool.
hand. It's really cool.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really nice game. So, people looking for small portable games, they're ones that are in my bag. And they've just, I think that there may be a Kickstarter just finished or about to finish with a couple more solo games. But with all of them, you can basically throw in extras. So it's called the Royal Limited is the current one.
Yeah.
Look up Jason Tagmeyer on Kickstarter.
Jason Tagmeyer
is the account. Yeah, but the Royal Limited, a solo game of playing fancy train cars, loading up with passengers, and trying to leave on time. And it's $12.
Whoa!
They are so, and there's little extras you get in this series. You don't, just you can't go wrong. I've not found one that I've gone nah.
So I remember, man, this was maybe a couple of months ago. You were traveling for work. You were by yourself. And I don't think it was Spaceships. There's a solo game. Maybe it was Spaceships. There was a solo game that you took with
Deep Space.
What is it?
Deep Space D9.
Deep Space D9. Was that it?
I'm checking. D6. D6.
I'm trying to remember what it was. I remember we talked about it.
Yeah, Deep Space D6.
Deep Space
D6. Yeah, I haven't got that on my list today. It's a really good solo game.
Yeah, because you talked about that.
Yeah.
You even shared pictures with me, and I'm like, my God, this looks so cool,
Yeah, that's a good game.
I think what stood out is that it was solo, because normally you and I don't play a lot of solo games, but when you're traveling for work alone.
Yeah. Other games, Final Girl, similar to that. It's pure solo.
Right.
If you're into surviving a horrendous psychopath.
but not a game you can travel with. I mean, I guess
Yeah, it's okay. I did
Yeah.
last week. They're both because it's 2 boxes: the core box and there's the story box. They
Okay.
both end up in my bag.
Because a lot of people have been posting their image pictures on Instagram about Final Girl, and it's like it seems to have a table presence.
Oh yeah. So that is one where most hotel rooms it fits on the table.
Okay,
Again, depends whether your hotel room's got a desk in it or not.
that's true.
But again, you could probably play that on the bed. That wouldn't be too bad.
So we were talking about before this episode. You and I were just getting ready, and we were talking about, you got the photo collection box, the plastic box, and inside is the 16 boxes that are designed for photographs, but we will take games that have those big cardboard inserts that aren't very helpful. Take that out, put them in there, and throw away the boxes. Or, like me, put those boxes on the wall for wall art. That's another episode for another day. But so we've essentially consolidated. I'm staring at my shelf right now where I have one of those cases. The problem is, I don't know if you feel the same way. While storing it doesn't take up much space, if I were to bring it with me, it's true that I could take one of those smaller boxes and put it in my bag or my luggage. But when I get to where my destination is, the table presence is just too big and unwieldy. So, maybe the bed, I mean, yes, okay, you've got the bed, but the bed's not sturdy, right? It's not hard. So
You just got to
I
find
don't
it.
know.
You just got to find the right restaurant or at the
Right.
hotel that's got space. I mean, I'm just looking at mine. So on. I mean, I'll get these on Amazon. It's a box. There's 16 photograph storage, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a whole internet page where people have basically created the box cover for these boxes. I've got in there Herbaceous, Second Chance, No Thanks, Silver and Gold, Skull King, Splendor in 2 boxes.
Really?
Rolling,
Okay.
yeah. So Splendor, all we need is the chips and the cards. Job
That's
done.
true.
Rolling Realms is in 2 boxes, and that will need a 3rd box once something else comes out. Sunset Over Water, One Night Werewolf, Bang the Dice Game, Port Royal, Great Heartland Hauling. But like you, we generally grab 1 or 2, and we just take them. And if we're going away in the car, we will take everything out with us in the case, and that allows us to choose on the fly. That gives us loads of choice, and all these are generally card games, and none of them take up a huge amount of presence.
I guess. So we just did it. I don't have the list, so I had to go grab it off my shelf real quick. So we've got Love Letter. We've got Letters to Santa. We've got Gift of Tulips. That one doesn't take up much presence. We could have played that on the bed. Coup. But again, you need 3
That's
players.
A good choice. Yeah, that's a good choice. That's a good idea.
But you need 3. Now the Mind is great. No table presence to speak of.
Easy.
Unfortunately, it's not one of Katie's favorites. So I have Star Trek Uno because it's Star Trek. Shifting Stones.
Yep.
Shifting Stones. Yep. I didn't think, and the thing is, I didn't think to take these with. We've got Point Salad, a little bit of a table presence. We've got Tea Dragon Society, which is really good. The classic Guillotine. Yeah.
Good choice.
You can line up those cards, in a row right in front of you on the bed. Again, on the bed, so you don't have to worry about that. Cleocatra. That one takes up very little space.
Yeah.
And then we've got Skippo, Sushi Go, Cheating Moth. Got Cheating Moth. Yeah.
Perfect party game.
Yeah. Party game, yes. 2 of us on a trip, no. And I guess the thing is, I would have had to have digged through this box, and we have room for 2 more. So I guess we could put Splendor in the other 2 boxes. Now it's interesting. You have Rolling Realms, so I have all of the promos. I've kept up with them. Recently picked up Micro Dojo, the Isle of Cats, and of course, if you have Rolling Realms, you've got to get Biddy and Walter.
It's a really good one as well. I'm really impressed.
Never mind the fact that Biddy and Walter are Jamie's 2 cats, and
they
they're
gave permission as
amazing.
well to be in the box, to be in the game.
Yeah, can you believe that? If you're a cat owner, getting your cats permission to do anything. But we keep all of Rolling Realms in the Rolling Realms box. It fits, so there's no reason to.
So the Rolling Realm box has just got the solo stuff in it. Everything else is in 2 boxes, and all the promos. But it is tight now. Another set of promos, and we're going to have to go to a 3rd box. So the pens are equally split. The dice are in one of the boxes.
At the rate Jamie's going, there's going to be more. It's
a perfect travel game because it's both solo and you've got just pay it on your own.
I regret not taking that one with me. I do. I wish we would have taken that. We may have played that instead, but it's okay.
This is what it's at episode 4, right? So
yeah.
It's next time you go away, listen back.
Yep.
Or just go and buy a load more solo games or travel games.
There you go.
Get to spend money. The other ones I was thinking about are Oink games. You know Oink games? Like Deep Sea Adventure?
Yes.
They were already small boxes. Again, they
just...
So, yeah, Deep Sea Adventure, Scout, and Nine Tiles Panic are often ones that we grab.
Scout is really small and really popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good choice as well. Scout.
The ones that are a bit more tricky is a Tynic Epic series.
Yes.
Weirdly, they are small form, but they do often require table space. And we don't play them that often. Yeah. So remembering the rules... And being older, I find the rule book slightly challenging sometimes. So they don't often end up in the bag, but they are pretty good soloable as well, though. But they don't end up. They don't end up in the bag.
That is kind of it's really interesting. So we have the Tiny Epic Games game bag that Gamelin came out.
Yeah.
We haven't filled it up completely. We still have room, but so the Tiny Epics, the whole benefit is that they are big box games that travel travel well, right? Like that's the whole point. Is
to me, they're ones you take to a games afternoon with friends, but you haven't got the space,
or at a convention.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you're going to go to UK Games Expo. I'm going to Gen Con. At all. My list is starting to grow. Stay tuned for more on the Summer Game Convention schedule.
That'll be a year anniversary as well. The other one, the other thing that we did years ago when the kids were a lot smaller, before these little photo boxes, I just had like a hardware do-it-yourself home improvement box with lots of little trays in it.
Oh, sure.
Where we managed to, I think we put about 10 games in there. The instructions were laid on top, and it was like Splendor and I think I can't remember the other games now. My brain's gone dead, but that travelled quite well. And the other thing we did is a load of roll and writes or flip and writes,
right,
just inside a zip bag. So they all been laminated. So 4 copies of each sheet laminated, so that all the family could play. The dice are in the bag, and then pens, all dry wipes. That is, you could get 20, 30 games if they're all small form again.
Oh, yeah. A really good roll and write that can travel well is Dinosaur Exhibit.
Yeah. I played that one.
Which just got picked up by a large publisher and is going to get a second print run. So we're really excited for the designer. And that's a great game. That's a lot of fun. Really great for the kids. The theme and everything is beautiful. Again, we didn't think to travel with that. Like I just grabbed some games before we left for Chicago.
Yeah.
And so I was listening to, you were talking about how you packaged games when you were traveling with the kids when they were younger, which brought up this question. I'm trying to think about it, and I don't have an answer, and I'm hoping you do. How do we, that is you and I, how do we package up obsession and travel with it?
I think it's on BGA with a laptop.
Okay,
is that the right answer?
That might be the right answer.
Could you
like?
So someone's made an app with all the tiles in it.
It's true.
I think you'd need probably a combination. The game board itself is okay. That's easy. The game board.
Yep.
It's just
the
the tile.
tiles.
It's the
It's the
tile
tiles and the
selection.
cards.
But actually, I reckon, if you were
so could you? Here's
no
what
player
I'm thinking.
boards, no player boards.
Here's what I'm thinking. Because you have the family houses, they come in their own separate boxes. Could you put the cards and the tiles in one compartment, and then just bring one house with you, and there's your solo game?
So that'd be okay. And then 2 players, you ditch the player boards.
Yeah.
There's a competition. There's a game. How do we get Obsession into travel form mode without making it on a computer?
Right. Because that's the answer for all of these games, right? It's like just play them on BGA, which I understand. But
yeah, I mean, but all the boards you could just laminate, just scan them, then print them out on paper and then laminate them. That gets them down to lightweight.
Yeah, but that still gets to be,
But it's the weight, isn't it? You're not carrying the box then. You're just going to carry the meeples in a bag.
Yep.
Anyway, I shall think about that. And well done for getting Obsession into a podcast about gaming on the go.
Well, and well done you for picking up on it.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
I think Twilight Imperium might be a stretch.
Ooh, I don't.
Oh, no, Twilight Inscription. Sold that there. There we go. We're on the right version.
Yeah, but that's still a bit of a... It takes
up
those sheets. If you're doing it solo, but if
it's 2 players.
If I would have taken it with me, with Katie and I...
It's just 8 sheets. 2 sheets each.
Well, there's 8 sheets, plus you have the center sheet.
Yeah, it'd be all right.
That's a lot of presents, because they're not... I mean,
but you got to sit in the bar then, and then people come and observe you crazy people playing board games in the bar.
I want you to talk more about that, because I can't conceive of taking a game to a bar or a pub, knowing the nature of alcohol is flowing. I would worry about the damage to my game.
No, we're quite careful.
Yeah.
I mean, I take games so I'm away this week, and I will take a bag full of proper games, so full-size games in my bag to the restaurant that's got the bar next door.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in a hotel, so table's clean. People have put their drinks to one side, but then we're not drinking. There might be 1 or 2 pints, but no more than that. I mean, we go to play games. We don't go to drink.
Right. What about food? Because
no. Food is if we're going to a restaurant, then the games have to be quick.
They have to
either before the starters or at the end or in between. So roll and write's okay because it's usually laminated.
Right.
We got a game called Push It, which is another little bag, which is basically these round, flat-sided discs that you push across the table at each other to score points. It's like 4 in the bag. That's quite good.
Yeah. So that's a good list. So if anyone, for those of you listening,
I shall write those in the description.
Yeah, there are a lot of games that we listed for you to explore and travel with.
Yeah, just go and type them into Board Game Geek, and I'll give you a bit more information about them. Or just drop me a message. Yeah. I'll happily give my views on many, many games that I have had the pleasure to play.
You have a lot more experience with this than I do. We don't travel very often. We only have I say that Katie and I are going to another work conference in the summer, so we'll be packing something with us to keep us entertained in the evenings. That seems to be the time for us. For us, it's in the evening before.
That's ours. If we're on holiday, then it's in evenings. The most extreme travel game is I was once in Hong Kong, and I picked up a copy of Ticket to Ride Deluxe, 25-year edition, wherever it is, the black box, or is it the 10-year edition?
The 10-year, yeah.
And I walked into a game store, it's on the shelf, and it's really hard to get in the UK. But I was then going to India on the way home before back to UK. Wow. So I was like, am I really going to do this? And I was like, does it even fit in my suitcase? So I thought, we'll just work it out when we get out if I need be. So I bought the game, went back to the hotel. it fitted in the width of the suitcase. And it's amazing how well shirts, underwear, t-shirts pad a game that it travelled from Hong Kong to Chennai back to UK, not a mark on it. So you can take large games around the world with you.
I don't recommend it, but you could.
I must admit, I was reasonably stressed about that, but
to be fair, though, Ticket to Ride. What I like about Ticket to Ride is that you could. It would have been really fun, I think, if I were with you on that trip. If we could play Ticket to Ride India while we're in India, right? Like
there's a whole series on games that you've played in the cities you've been to.
Oh,
like Bruges, done that one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's a few others.
Carcassonne, right? Carcassonne.
I've not done that one. Well, there's Bristol in Bristol.
Yep.
Or London in London. Or Snowdonia in Snowdonia.
So you need to come to the States. I need to take you to New Orleans. We'll play Big Easy busking while we're in the French Quarter, listening to buskers on the street corner.
See? So we need to write a list of all these and then make it like a bucket list.
There we go. The board game bucket list, ladies.
Board game bucket lists. That is for next time. So, PJ, thank you again. That was fun. Loads of ideas.
It's great.
As I'm now off to go and pack my bag for tomorrow, so I shall take a picture of the games that are in their way to sunny work direction.
Love it.
I'll see and speak to everyone soon.
Thanks, everyone, for listening. Please subscribe. And as always, we love to hear your thoughts and ideas. So make sure to leave those in the comments. And don't forget, you can also chat with us both on Instagram @Meeple to Meeple.